I think that there's so much good going on in the WNBA. I think that basketball is being played at the highest level it's ever been. I think our team in specific, we are breaking history right now with the amount of points that we're scoring on back-to-back games. I think the Minnesota game, there's just so much distraction. I think the WNBA media, all we ever do is cover everything except basketball. And it's like, what are we doing? There's so much. Like, you can talk about other things. I think those are great stories. I think it shows fans, who people are outside of the court, but I also think we got to keep the main.
It had grown into something much bigger. Then came another wave of headlines. Some questioned whether the attention surrounding Clark had become excessive. Others argued she was being treated unfairly. Across television panels and online discussions, opinions became increasingly polarized, often overshadowing what was actually happening on the court. But amid all of the noise, one voice stood out. It wasn't because it was the loudest. It was because it came from someone standing beside her every day. Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham didn't just become another teammate. Publicly and repeatedly, she made it clear she believed Clark deserved respect, protection, and recognition for what she was accomplishing. Her comments quickly spread throughout the basketball world, fueling another round of passionate debate. Why had this partnership become such a major storyline? How did two competitors with different paths end up becoming symbols of something much larger than basketball? And why did so many fans feel the conversation had drifted far away from the game itself? Those questions only became more important as the season unfolded, because behind every viral clip and every emotional reaction was a story about pressure, expectations, and the enormous weight carried by one of the most recognizable young athletes in American sports. To understand why emotions eventually reached such an intense level, we have to look beyond a single interview or a single game. We have to understand the environment surrounding Caitlin Clark from the moment she entered the professional league. Because none of this happened overnight. It was the result of months of growing attention, relentless discussion, and constant public evaluation. But to understand how everything reached this point, we have to go back to where it all began. When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA after a record-breaking collegiate career at the University of Iowa, expectations were unlike anything most rookies had ever faced. She wasn't simply arriving as the #1 overall draft pick. She arrived as one of the most recognizable names in women's basketball history. Television ratings surged whenever she played. Arena attendance climbed dramatically. Road games began selling out weeks in advance. Fans wearing Clark jerseys appeared in cities across the country, many attending WNBA games for the very first time. Her arrival coincided with unprecedented attention on the league. While countless veterans had spent years helping build the WNBA, Clark's popularity introduced millions of new viewers, creating opportunities but also intensifying debates about media coverage and recognition. That combination made every moment feel larger than life. Every impressive assist became national news. Every shooting slump prompted questions. Every physical play generated hours of discussion. Instead of simply adjusting to professional basketball, Clark was adjusting under one of the brightest spotlights any rookie had experienced. For many athletes, the transition from college to the professional level is already demanding. Defenses are faster. Players are stronger. Coaches exploit every weakness. For Clark, those normal growing pains unfolded while cameras followed nearly every step. Each game became both a competition and a media event. Every possession seemed to carry another headline waiting to happen. As the season progressed, Clark continued adapting to the speed and physicality of the WNBA. She delivered highlight passes, deep three-pointers, and record-setting rookie performances, while also experiencing the inevitable ups and downs that accompany any first professional season. But basketball wasn't the only story. Conversations about officiating, physical defense, media narratives, and league attention became almost inseparable from discussions about Clark herself. Some analysts argued the physical treatment she received reflected the reality every rookie must face. Others believed she was absorbing an unusual amount of contact that deserved greater attention. Those differing perspectives fueled endless debate. The discussions expanded beyond sports television into podcasts, newspapers, and social media, where opinions often became more heated than the games themselves. It was within that environment that relationships inside the Indiana Fever locker room attracted greater attention. Every interaction between teammates was analyzed. Every celebration became a viral clip. Every supportive comment carried extra significance. Among the players who publicly expressed confidence in Clark was Sophie Cunningham. Already known around the league as a fierce competitor with a reputation for toughness, Cunningham brought experience and intensity. Fans quickly noticed her willingness to stand up for teammates and embrace the physical side of the game. That competitive edge resonated with many Fever supporters. Whenever tensions rose during games, cameras often caught Cunningham stepping into situations where emotions threatened to boil over. Those moments reinforced an image many fans had already formed. She wasn't afraid to defend the people around her. As discussions surrounding Clark intensified, Cunningham also addressed broader conversations in interviews. She spoke about Clark's impact on women's basketball and emphasized that the rookie had helped bring significant new attention to the league. Those comments were widely reported and generated substantial discussion among fans and media. Supporters praised Cunningham for speaking candidly. Critics argued that the larger conversation required more nuance, recognizing the contributions of many players over many years. The debate continued. Yet inside Indiana's season, the focus remained on basketball. The Fever were trying to grow into a competitive team. Young players were learning new roles. Veterans were providing leadership. Every victory mattered. Every loss offered another lesson. Still, the spotlight rarely faded. Instead, it grew brighter. As the weeks passed, Clark continued producing performances that demonstrated why so many believed she could become one of the league's defining stars. Her vision, passing, and long-range shooting captivated audiences, while her composure under pressure drew praise from teammates and coaches. But with greater visibility came greater emotional weight. Professional athletes often speak about blocking out outside noise. Doing so is easier said than done when headlines follow every game, every interview, and every public appearance. The emotional demands of that level of attention became part of Clark's journey, just as surely as practices, travel, and competition. And as media conversations became increasingly personal, supporters began asking whether the focus had shifted too far from basketball itself. That question would soon become impossible to ignore, because one emotional moment, and the reaction that followed, would reignite an already intense national conversation about pressure, public scrutiny, and the responsibilities that come with being the face of a rapidly growing sport. And when Sophie Cunningham stepped forward once again, the discussion changed in ways few people expected. The conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark wasn't slowing down. If anything, it was accelerating. Every nationally televised game seemed to produce another viral clip. Every post-game interview generated fresh debate. Sports talk shows, podcasts, and social media creators spent countless hours discussing not only Clark's performances, but also how she was being covered, how opponents defended her, and what her presence meant for the future of the WNBA. It became increasingly difficult to separate basketball from the headlines surrounding it. That was precisely what made Sophie Cunningham's public support stand out. While commentators across the country argued over narratives, Cunningham consistently redirected attention toward what she saw every day inside the Indiana Fever organization. She talked about Clark's work ethic, her competitiveness, her willingness to absorb coaching, and perhaps most importantly, her resilience. Those observations carried weight because they came from someone sharing practices, road trips, and locker rooms, not someone watching from a television studio. For many fans, that perspective felt refreshingly grounded. Yet the debate outside the team continued to grow. Some analysts believed Clark was receiving an unprecedented amount of media attention compared to other players. Others argued that attention was simply a reflection of unprecedented public interest. Both viewpoints found passionate supporters. The result was a sports conversation unlike anything the league had experienced in recent years. Ironically, the more Clark tried to focus on basketball, the more basketball seemed to become only part of the story. Throughout the season, Clark repeatedly demonstrated the same approach in interviews. She rarely singled herself out. Instead, she spoke about improving as a team, learning from mistakes, building chemistry, finding ways to win. That message remained remarkably consistent, even as outside conversations became increasingly emotional. Her teammates often echoed the same mindset. Inside the Fever organization, the priority wasn't winning debates online. It was climbing the standings, improving every week, turning potential into results. That process wasn't always smooth. Like every young team, Indiana experienced frustrating losses alongside encouraging victories. There were games where Clark dazzled offensively, others where opponents limited her impact. Some nights, the Fever appeared capable of competing with anyone. Other nights reminded everyone how difficult sustained success can be in a league filled with experienced veterans. Those ups and downs are normal for rebuilding teams. The attention surrounding Indiana, however, was anything but normal. Every setback became a national storyline. Every breakthrough generated another wave of discussion. The longer the season continued, the clearer one truth became. The biggest story was never about a single viral headline. It wasn't about one controversial television segment. It wasn't even about one emotional moment that spread across social media. The real story was how a young team, and one of the most closely watched rookies in basketball history, continued moving forward despite an almost constant wave of public scrutiny. For Caitlin Clark, every game represented another opportunity to let basketball do the talking. That approach never guaranteed an easy night. There were games where defenses trapped her from the opening possession. There were nights when every shot seemed contested. There were moments when the pressure of expectations appeared almost impossible for any first-year player to carry. Yet time and again, Clark returned to the same formula. Prepare, compete, improve. Her statistics certainly drew attention, but just as significant was the way she adapted to professional basketball. As the season progressed, her decision-making became sharper, her chemistry with teammates improved, and her confidence as a floor general continued to grow. Those weren't overnight changes. They were earned through months of work that fans rarely see. The early morning film sessions, the practices behind closed doors, the conversations with coaches, the adjustments made after difficult losses, the long road trips where lessons are often learned faster than victories. Those moments don't usually become viral clips, but they often define great careers. Sophie Cunningham's role in that journey also became clearer over time. Although fans frequently focused on her public comments defending Clark and praising her impact, her influence extended beyond interviews. Veteran leadership often reveals itself in small moments, encouraging a teammate after a turnover, helping maintain energy during difficult stretches, bringing intensity to practice, setting an example through effort rather than words. Those qualities rarely dominate headlines, but coaches consistently emphasize how important they are to winning basketball. Cunningham's competitive reputation fit naturally within that role. She had built a career on toughness, confidence, and an unwillingness to back away from challenges. When she publicly supported Clark, many fans interpreted those comments as an extension of that same mindset. Not because controversy attracts attention, but because trust builds teams. And trust becomes especially valuable when outside noise grows louder. Meanwhile, conversations throughout the basketball world gradually began shifting. Instead of asking whether Clark belonged in the WNBA, discussions increasingly centered on how high her ceiling might be. Could she become one of the league's premier playmakers? Could Indiana develop into a championship contender around its young core? How quickly could the Fever close the gap with the league's established powers? Those questions reflected progress. They also reflected perspective, because only months earlier, much of the conversation focused on whether Clark could simply adjust to professional basketball. Now, people were debating how far she and the franchise could go. That transformation didn't happen because of headlines. It happened because of performances, because of growth, because of consistency. The broader impact reached beyond Indiana. Television ratings remained strong. Attendance across the league benefited from increased public interest. More young fans discovered the WNBA. More families attended games. More people who had never followed women's professional basketball began learning the names of stars throughout the league. Veterans continued demonstrating the elite talent that had built the WNBA for decades. At the same time, a new generation of players introduced fresh excitement and expanded the audience. Rather than diminishing one another, those realities could exist together. Many longtime observers pointed out that sustained growth depends on honoring the league's history while embracing its future. Clark became part of that future, not the entire story, but undeniably one important chapter. Perhaps the greatest lesson from this period wasn't about statistics at all. It was about perspective. Modern athletes compete in an environment unlike anything previous generations experienced. Every game is instantly analyzed. Every interview is clipped into short videos. Every opinion can spread worldwide within minutes. Sometimes those conversations celebrate extraordinary performances. Other times they create narratives that move faster than verified facts. That's why careful reporting matters. Throughout the season, numerous dramatic claims circulated online. Some accurate, others exaggerated, and some unsupported by reliable reporting. Separating documented facts from speculation became increasingly important for fans hoping to understand what was actually happening. The excitement surrounding Clark often encouraged sensational headlines. But the documented story remained compelling without embellishment. A rookie entering the league under historic expectations. A franchise rebuilding before a national audience. Veteran teammates offering support. A league experiencing remarkable growth. Those developments required no exaggeration. They were already historic. Looking ahead, the future appeared filled with possibilities. Clark continued developing into one of basketball's premier young stars. The Fever continued building chemistry. Supporters believed the organization's best basketball still lay ahead. Whether championship contention would arrive immediately remained uncertain. Professional sports rarely follow predictable timelines. But optimism had unmistakably returned to Indiana. And with optimism came patience. Fans understood that meaningful success often requires time. Every championship-caliber team experiences growing pains. Every great player evolves through adversity. Every defining season includes moments of doubt before moments of triumph. Clark's journey appeared to reflect that same pattern. The challenges hadn't disappeared. Neither had the expectations. But experience had begun replacing uncertainty. And that may have been the most significant development of all. Years from now, many people may remember the highlight passes, the deep three-pointers, the sold-out arenas, the record television audiences. Others may remember the endless debates that surrounded nearly every game. But perhaps the most enduring memory will be something much simpler. A young player refusing to let outside noise define her career. Teammates standing together through criticism and pressure. A franchise rediscovering belief. And a league continuing to grow because more people than ever before were paying attention. Basketball has always been about more than the final score. It's about resilience when expectations feel overwhelming. It's about trust when the spotlight becomes intense. It's about perseverance when criticism is louder than applause. Those qualities don't always appear on the stat sheet, but they often become the foundation of lasting success. Whether discussing Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, or the Indiana Fever as a whole, one lesson stands above the rest. The strongest response to controversy isn't another headline. It's continuing to compete, continuing to improve, and allowing the game itself to tell the story. Stories like this remind us why basketball is about so much more than wins and losses. It's about resilience, teamwork, leadership, and the ability to stay focused even when the spotlight feels overwhelming. Whether you've followed the WNBA for decades or you're one of the many new fans discovering the league, moments like these show just how powerful the game can be. If you enjoyed this documentary, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to WNBA Hoops TV, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the biggest stories shaping women's basketball. We'd also love to hear from you. What do you think has been the biggest challenge Caitlin Clark has faced during her transition to the WNBA? And how important do you believe veteran teammates like Sophie Cunningham are in helping young stars navigate the pressure of professional basketball? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, join the conversation respectfully, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next WNBA Hoops TV documentary.